Hey everyone, it's Valley Williams. We are here talking about the best thing on the planet, San Diego real estate, with our friend Galina.
Hi.
What's your last name?
Schechtman.
Okay, I'll leave that to you.
What I would like to talk is that there is no doubt that we do live in very uncertain times, but also we live in very interesting times. Nowhere ever from us, unless we went through the last pandemics, live in the times like that. So one of the most questions that I was getting is the real estate market gonna crash?
Yes, of
this
course,
time?
everyone thinks that. Well, not everyone, but some people think that.
Right. Most of the time, we're thinking that some of the people were saying that it's going to be even worse than 2008. However, the market is very different. This market is not going to crash for the multiple reasons. We are not 2008. Not everybody who's breathing in the mirror is getting the loans.
Yeah.
The other stuff is
Breathing in the mirror is getting a loan. That's
like
so true.
in 2008.
And we're not like falsifying like income and increasing income and like doing like handwritten verification of assets, like all those things attributed to the crash. Now we verify everything.
Correct. So the lenders are pretty tough, even though the interest rate is very good, 2.88, 60 years low. The other factors that will not let the market crash is just simply that 85% of the homeowners in California have equity in their homes, so which leaves us with 15% who might possibly ever go into the foreclosure. Out of those 15%, some people who might gonna go to the foreclosure, we are not going to see them with the next year or two just because nobody is being kicked out on the streets ASAP. So the lender is giving them time by the time they file the notes and so on and so forth. Furthermore, with the government forgiveness loans, they can stay in the house for a year not paying for that, not paying for the mortgage. Yes, it's going to be adding up to the end of their loan. However, they are not forced to leave the house. They are not forced to make those payments. The most interesting things, even if part of those 15% will be going to foreclosures every time soon, there are two investors, full cash investors, that are standing in line waiting for those homes.
True, that's true too. That there's always an option.
Right.
To avoid foreclosure, and like mass foreclosure led to the market crashing and default, where we're not really seeing defaults in mass foreclosure right now.
Correct. Also, San Diego, it's, as we say, best and finest, and it's always, it's different even with the rest of the California. So again, we are going to the supply and demand law. With a low inventory and high interest enter to San Diego, again, there is no signs of crashing markets.
I think that we have a uniqueness about San Diego because we have the consistency of our military, and then we also have the consistency of a rental market because we are in such a beautiful with weather and beaches and things like that. It's always going to be a tourist destination, so those two factors always uphold our market. We could see decline. I mean, we really don't see it right now, and we don't know that it's ever going to really happen, but definitely like 2008, we're not going to see a crash, a financial crisis. Somebody said something like, this isn't a financial crisis, this is a health crisis, so it's two different things.
Correct. So also, yes, you say the right thing. Of course, yes, military, I mean, we have multiple bases and those people are still working. For the people who lost their job, well, I really hope that they're going to regain their jobs after the pandemics. However, they were giving the
people, like consumers and just people that were on unemployment.
Right, they're getting their stimulus checks, right? So the small businesses got their SSL loans, some other businesses got PPL loans. So people, not like in 2008, like everything crashed and people did not know what to do.
And they lost their jobs.
Correct, and they lost their jobs. So now it's like, even though it's hectic, but it's more structured.
Well, the market has a memory, and so I think we tried to do everything we could to avoid a financial crisis on top of a health pandemic, right? So
right.
kind of saved ourselves from having a crisis and did all the things that we're supposed to do to keep housing market from crashing. So
and people floating.
Yeah, the only thing we need is like, certain jobs to get back to work and things will be business as usual. But we are seeing like an increased market. Things are moving and still increasing, and sales prices are moving up, and closed sales are increasing. So we're not experiencing a crash by any means right now.
Right, and even with the interest rate, like I already said, history low, 2.88%. I mean, even the people who were unable to afford, they can, or people who were afford, they afford to buy more of the home with the
Yeah.
lowest interest rate. So
And it's fixed for 30 years, whereas before in 2008 it was only fixed for 2 to 3 years. So we're in a different
Far
type
more.
of situation where you have consistency and you have something that you can rely on, the same payment every month for 30 years. So
right.
Galina, thank you so much. You had so much knowledge and information. Thank you so much for sharing, and come back. I know we have a lot to talk about. This industry can be so much knowledge out there. So thank you for sharing, and thank you all so much for watching.